Welcome, and thanks for stopping by the channel. This is the new Outlander from Escape Electric Bikes, based out of Evans, Georgia. On today's ride, I thought we'd go over some of the key components and features of this bike, and I will give you my impressions along the way. Later on in the video, I will do a walk around on the bike and show you some of the individual components. And then at the end of the video, stick around, we're going to do a high speed run and see what this bike can get up to. Thanks for joining me on the ride today. The Outlander is available in two versions, the Outlander and the Outlander Plus. I'm on the Outlander Plus today. Both versions have dual motors, dual batteries, dual air suspensions, dual controllers, quad piston hydraulic disc brakes, premium all-terrain tires, and they're both 52-volt systems. I did want to let you know that this is not a sponsored video, and all these opinions are my own. I like having the option of dual motors. You got one in the front, one in the back. They're both 1,000 watt on the Outlander Plus. On the Outlander itself, you can get it with two 750 watt motors. And you can ride around using just the rear motor. You could use both motors, or you could just use the front motor. There's a switch over here, a toggle switch over here on the left side of the handlebars. And this is rear motor. You go to the middle, setting for dual motor, and right for front motor only. Typically, I'll keep this bike in dual motor mode or rear motor mode most of the time. Use the dual motor mode when I'm going up a steep hill or just when I want a little extra power, because I got to be honest, it feels pretty good. Just hit that throttle and this bike will take off and give you a lot of power right off the start, which I really find is a safety factor for getting through those intersections, either at a stop sign on a busier road where a lot of main vehicle traffic is, higher speeds, at a stoplight. When you've got this in dual motor mode, this bike will take off and keep up with most of the traffic around you. I'm not sure how long this is going to last, but at the time of the recording of this video, Escape had lowered the Outlander and the Outlander Plus a full $200 for both models. So now you can get the Outlander with the two 750 watt motors for $26.49, and you can get the Outlander Plus with the dual 1,000 watt motors for $27.49. If you want further details, you can reach out to Escape Electric Bikes. I'll leave a link in the description below. Or you could just contact Joel and his wife. They're the owners of Escape Electric Bikes, and they'll be happy to answer any of your questions that you might have. The bike I'm riding today is a prototype bike. There will be quite a few upgrades made to the production version of this bike, and where I have them available to me, I will throw up on the screen pictures of the new components that will be changed out in the production version. One of these changes will be the display unit. The new unit is going to be a Big Stone C900 fully programmable color LCD display. It's very user friendly. I'll throw some pictures here up on the screen. This bike comes standard with 26-inch tires, but for no additional charge you can order the bike with 24-inch tires, which is great for those shorter riders. You also have the option of getting this bike in a step-through version for an extra $100, but that's only available in the 26-inch tire version. I'll go ahead and throw a picture up on the screen of what that bike's going to look like. Keeping in mind this bike is a prototype, it currently does have two suspensions, one in the front, one in the back. However, the model that you will receive if you purchase this bike, the front forks will be dual air suspension forks. So you'll have that adjustability to soften out that ride depending on your weight. And then you have the rear air shock, which is a D&M air shock, and you have that same adjustability in the back. These Bafang motors come with steel reinforced gears, which is critical for bikes that have this much power and torque. I'll go ahead and throw up on the screen a picture of these gears. This bike currently has a torque sensor on it. I like the way they've got it dialed in, tuned in. It's sensitive. You give it a little bit more leg power and it picks up instantly. Kind of makes you feel like you have Superman legs is how I would equate it if you've never ridden a bike with a torque sensor. You have a little bit more flexibility with a torque sensor when you apply the pressure, and you can control the speed. You don't get as many of the surges that you get with a cadence sensor. But for those who like cadence sensors, and I'm one of them, this bike has an option. You can get either one. You can order it with a torque sensor, or you can order it with a cadence sensor. And a cadence sensor is for those who just want to turn the pedals. You can get some exercise, you can put some pressure on the pedals, you can get feel, all that. But sometimes it'll just, depending on the pedal assist you're in, it'll just push you up gradually to a certain speed. It's nice having the option of ordering this bike with either a torque sensor or a cadence sensor. And for an extra $75, you could choose to have both. I'm not sure how well it'll pick up on the audio here, but this bike is, I think it's remarkably quiet for having two motors that are this powerful. And there's very few rattles on this bike. I like the way they put some rubber grommets around the fenders where the fender's attached to the frame. I found that that really dampens out a lot of those rattles that you get when you go over bumps. It's little things like that that really make a difference in the quality and the ride feel that you get. It's always nice when you've got an electric bike and you don't have to worry about a lot of rattles and thinking, I'm going to have to tighten that up when I get back, or why is it constantly rattling? Sometimes when you make these videos, things don't always go to plan. In this case, I was going to film the walk around where I'm going to show you the components of the bike up close. And I was going to do that at the end of this ride, but the weather didn't cooperate and it started raining on me. So I had to move everything indoors. So that's why you'll see the abrupt change coming up. Just wanted to apologize for that. I will go over some of the main components of the bike and then we'll continue the ride. Everything starts with the motors. You've got dual 1000 watt Bafang motors, front and back. This bike has dual batteries. You got a 20 amp hour in the front, mounted on the front frame, down tube, and you've got one in the rear rack here that's 15 amp hours, a total of 35 amp hours. They are Samsung 21700 lithium ion cell batteries. You've also got dual suspension on the bike. The front suspension is a trauma fork, a dual crown fork. This is going to be changed out. It's actually going to be an air suspension fork that's going to come with the production model, so you'll be able to add air to adjust for your weight. And in the back, you have a D&M air shock. Also, you have adjustability that you can add air to right here, and you got two levels of adjustment here and a rebound adjustment in the back. You've got an upgraded derailleur. This is the Shimano Alivio. It's about 4 levels up from the standard Shimano tourney that you get with a lot of e-bikes. The bike comes with 9 speeds and an 11 by 34 tooth cassette. You've got a 56 tooth chain ring on this bike, but the production model is going to come with a 58 tooth chain ring. Great for eliminating that ghost pedaling. You've got 9 speeds up here on the right handlebar with thumb shifters. You also have your choice of having a left thumb throttle if you prefer, instead of the right quarter twist throttle. Got a bell. You have Tektro 4-piston hydraulic disc brakes, and you also have 203 millimeter rotors front and back. You have two 30 amp controllers that are sine wave controllers mounted inside this crank housing. They're also potted controllers, which means they are thermal gel filled. That helps dissipate the heat that these controllers can put out. You've also got a very bright front headlight, LED, with LED tail light and brake light in the back. Let me see if I can grab this brake and see if I can get this to activate. That's with the brake on and with the brake off. I also wanted to point out that this rear battery is going to be a slimline battery in the production model, and this rear rack is going to be condensed down. So you're probably going to come down about 1.5 to 2 inches in height. It's going to be more slimline as a whole. This raised lip that you see here in the front, that's also going to get flattened out to be level with the rest of this rack. And this whole unit will be shifted up towards the seat a little bit to provide a little bit more center of gravity weight distribution over the rear wheel. The tires that came on this prototype bike are Kinder Crusade knobby tires, but the bike is going to come standard in the production model with Black Cat anti-puncture tires. They're a little thicker, a little better all-terrain tire tread, better handling characteristics. I'll go ahead and throw a picture of these tires up on the screen. You might also recognize them as HEB Allscapes or Ultraverse. They're all the same tire, made by the same manufacturer with just a different brand on them. The tires come standard with double wall aluminum alloy rims, and you've got a choice of either black or gold, and there's no additional charge for the gold color. You also get aluminum fenders front and back, and you may have noticed in the walk around a little bit earlier, the fender on the front was raised up a little bit higher than it probably should have been. In the production model, they're going to lower that down to a little bit closer to the tire itself, so there's not so much of a gap. And they're going to extend the fenders out a little further down as well. As I mentioned earlier, the bike comes with two batteries. The one in the front is a 20 amp hour, the one in the rear is 15 amp hours for a total of 21 amp hours and 2100 watt hours of power. And a lot of people ask or wonder how much range you could get out of two batteries on a powerful bike like this. So stay tuned. My next video I plan on doing is a range test on this bike in strictly Class 2 mode. The bike comes standard with rear turn signals that are integrated into the taillight and brake light, but for an extra $60, if you choose, as an option, you can add turn signals to the front. And those turn signals will be integrated into the battery system, so you won't have to charge the turn signals separate from the bike. The total weight capacity on the bike is 400 pounds, so that's 55 pounds maximum for the rear cargo rack and 345 pounds maximum for the rider. I'll go ahead and throw a graphic up on the screen that shows the overall dimensions of the bike. Feel free to go ahead and pause the video if you'd like to look at these a little closer. The estimated rider height range for this bike is 5'5" to 6'4". I know it doesn't come across like this in the video, but this bike is very tall. It's a large bike. It's quite heavy. It's over 100 pounds. Just wanted to make those shorter riders aware that it's deceivingly large. You've got 5 color options to order on this bike. You've got gloss black, gloss cobalt blue, gloss red, gloss white, and matte green. Those of you who have seen my videos in the past may have noticed that I'm not in my natural habitat in the deserts of Arizona. I'm working on a project in Columbus, Georgia for a few months. So I found this trail to ride and film on that's pretty nice. I like it. It's Fall Line Trace. It's about a 9-mile trail that's really well kept and well maintained. So if you're ever in the Columbus area and you want to go out on a nice bike ride, I can highly recommend the Fall Line Trace. I'll throw a picture up on the screen that shows you a basic outline of it. Now this doesn't cover the whole 9 miles, it's just in the area that I'm currently riding in right now. We got a nice little downhill. If you're interested in bikes with 60 volt options, Escape also sells a couple of other models with 60 volt systems. They have a single motor rear hub drive called the Outlaw. It's 1500 watts, 60 volt system. They have 3 versions of the Outlaw available. They all have dual suspension and 45 amp thermal gel filled controllers in single or dual battery starting at $2149. Or if you're looking for the ultimate in speed and power, they also have the Mountaineer, a dual motor beast. It's a 60 volt system, dual 1500 watt hang tie motors with steel reinforced gears, dual batteries, 20 amp hour and a 15 amp hour, and dual 40 amp controllers. This is one of the most powerful e-bikes you can buy today. If you're a rookie rider and this is your first e-bike, or the e-bike that you have, maybe you haven't had a lot of experience riding it, or you've never had a bike with a front motor, I would caution you against buying a bike this powerful. These front motors can really be a little tricky when you're going around corners, especially if you're in loose gravel or dirt. They have so much power that you need to be able to control that speed. So one of the good things that's going to come with this Mountaineer, and it also comes on the Outlander, is the ability to dial down the percentage of the power that goes to that front motor. So it gives you a lot of adjustability, which you'll need on bikes that are this powerful. I'm not trying to steer you away from them. I'm just giving you a word of caution. These bikes are deceivingly quick. Escape just lowered the price of this bike $400 down to $2,949, which in my opinion makes this one of the best buys on the market for these dual motor high powered e-bikes. Probably the best bang for the buck with all the components that you get with this Mountaineer. I highly recommend, if you're looking for something this powerful, to check out Escape Electric Bike's website, or call Joel or his wife and get some additional information. Get a pretty steep little downhill here, get a run going. This will give us a chance to put those 4-piston Tektro hydraulic disc brakes to work. Working great. I like having 9 pedal assist levels, and also you've got 9 gears in this Alivio derailleur. You've got the 11 by 34 tooth cassette in the back, so it really helps with ghost pedaling. Another thing that helps with ghost pedaling on this bike is the fact that currently this prototype has a 56 tooth crank on it, but the new bikes that will be shipping out will have a 58 tooth crank on it, which is going to help with even more
with eliminating any kind of ghost pedaling. So 9 speeds, 9 levels of pedal assist. And by the way, those pedal assist settings are adjustable. Each level you can adjust the power from the motor in percentage. So a lot of flexibility, a lot of gears with 9 gears, a premium derailleur. We're going to get out on this main road and see how well we can keep up traffic on this powerful bike. Already up to 24, 28, 33, 34. A little bit of an uphill. Nobody waiting on us. We're not holding up any traffic. Okay, we're leveling out now. 35 miles an hour. Holding pretty steady at 35, getting ready to go downhill. Should be able to pick up some speed right here. Yes, 37. 38. 39, come on, 40. There it is, 40. I have to admit, those high-speed runs are my favorite. Just love that power, love that speed. Oh, that was fun. Brings a smile to my face every time. This is Flat Rock Park.
Stick around here in about 30 seconds. I'm going to have a couple of cool drone shots of the bike that you may like. Really appreciate you sticking around for the video today and joining me on the ride. If you've gotten anything out of the video today, appreciate if you could hit that like button, and as always, really appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Until next time, take care.